The Grammar Game Show. The Grammar Game Show. Part 1. Wordplay and Whimsical Consequences. The studio audience roared with laughter as a contestant, dressed in a bright yellow jumpsuit, gingerly balanced a stack of dictionaries on their head, attempting to answer a grammar question without toppling the precarious tower. Welcome to Wordplay Wonders, the game show where knowledge of the English language was the key to winning fabulous prizes, but where grammatical errors came with hilarious and educational consequences. The host, a charismatic linguist named Professor Lexi, with a twinkle in her eye and a penchant for puns, surveyed the contestants with a mischievous grin. Welcome, word warriors, to the ultimate battle of grammar and wit. Are you ready to test your knowledge, embrace the unexpected, and perhaps learn a thing or two along the way? The first round, aptly named Grammar Gauntlet, began with seemingly simple questions, designed to warm up the contestants and get the audience chuckling. Contestant number 1, Professor Lexi announced, her voice booming through the studio. Choose the correct word to complete the sentence. The weather will underscore our picnic plans. The contestant, a nervous-looking teenager, sweat beading on his forehead, hesitated. Affect, he ventured, his voice wavering. That is correct, Professor Lexi declared, a fanfare of trumpets blaring through the studio as the audience applauded. The teenager, visibly relieved, moved on to the next round. Contestant number 2, a middle-aged woman with a confident smile, faced a similar challenge. Which sentence is grammatically correct? 2 options flashed on the screen behind her. I have went to the store, and I have gone to the store. The woman, without missing a beat, answered, I have gone to the store. Correct again, Professor Lexi exclaimed, another fanfare erupting as the woman pumped her fist in the air, a mischievous grin spreading across her face. The laughter, however, began when contestant number 3, a burly man with a handlebar mustache, stumbled on a question about the difference between there, and there. His incorrect answer triggered a whimsical consequence. He had to sing a grammar jingle, composed by Professor Lexi, incorporating all 3 words into the lyrics. The audience howled with laughter as the man, his voice booming off-key, belted out, They're going over there with their grammar books in tow, learning the difference between these words so their knowledge will grow. The laughter continued throughout the round as incorrect answers triggered a variety of hilarious consequences, from balancing dictionaries to reciting tongue twisters, from wearing a grammar police badge to acting out a scene from a Shakespearean play with a ridiculous prop. But amidst the laughter, a subtle learning was taking place. The audience, captivated by the game show's unique blend of entertainment and education, found themselves absorbing grammar rules, understanding the nuances of word usage, and even correcting each other's mistakes. Professor Lexi, a master of both linguistic knowledge and comedic timing, kept the energy high, the laughter flowing, and the learning subtle but effective. She explained the reasoning behind each correct answer, highlighting the importance of proper grammar and vocabulary in effective communication. As the first round concluded, the contestants, their initial nerves replaced by a shared sense of camaraderie and a newfound appreciation for the complexities of the English language, prepared for the next challenge, knowing that the wordplay wonders journey had just begun, and the path to the grand prize was paved with both laughter and learning. The Grammar Game Show, Part 2. Puzzling phrases and ticking clocks. The stage lights dimmed, creating an air of suspense as Professor Lexi, her smile now tinged with a hint of mischief, announced the second round of Wordplay Wonders. Welcome back, word warriors, to the Syntax Scramble. This round will test your knowledge of sentence structure, your ability to decipher tricky phrasal verbs, and most importantly, your speed. The clock is ticking, so put your thinking caps on and let the linguistic games begin. A giant digital timer appeared on the screen behind her, counting down from 3 minutes. The remaining contestants, their eyes wide with a mix of excitement and apprehension, took their places behind podiums equipped with buzzers and touch screens. The first challenge involved unscrambling sentences. The words jumbled like a linguistic jigsaw puzzle. A phrase flashed on the screen. Dog, the ball, chased, quickly, brown. Ben, the contestant with a visual learning style, instinctively rearranged the words in his mind, seeing the sentence take shape. He slammed his buzzer, a triumphant grin on his face. The brown dog quickly chased the ball, he declared, his voice confident. Correct, Professor Lexi exclaimed, the audience erupting in cheers as Ben earned his first points of the round. The challenges escalated in difficulty, testing the contestants' understanding of phrasal verbs, those tricky combinations of verbs and prepositions that often defied logic and literal interpretation. What does the phrasal verb look up to mean? Professor Lexi asked, her voice challenging but encouraging. Sarah, the avid reader, buzzed in quickly. It means to admire or respect someone, she answered, earning another point for her team. The timer ticked down relentlessly, the pressure mounting as the contestants grappled with increasingly complex sentence structures, identifying dependent clauses, placing modifiers correctly, and punctuating sentences with precision. One particularly tricky challenge involved identifying the correct placement of a comma in a complex sentence. The screen displayed 2 options. While I was studying for the English exam, I drank a lot of coffee. While I was studying for the English exam, I drank a lot of coffee. The contestants, their brows furrowed in concentration, hovered over their buzzers, their knowledge of comma usage put to the test. Emily, the tech enthusiast, remembering a rule from her online grammar guide, slammed her buzzer. "The second sentence is correct," she declared. "You don't need a comma after exam because it's not an introductory phrase." "Correct," Professor Lexi announced, the studio lights flashing as Emily earned a crucial point for her team. As the timer approached 0, the final challenge appeared on the screen, a rapid-fire round of identifying synonyms. Words flashed before them: happy, sad, angry, excited. The contestants, their minds racing, buzzed in frantically, attempting to match the words with their corresponding synonyms: joyful, melancholic, furious, thrilled. The buzzer sounded, signaling the end of the syntax scramble round. The scores were tallied, revealing a close competition. The contestants, exhausted but exhilarated, had not only demonstrated their knowledge of English grammar, but also their ability to think quickly, adapt to challenges, and perform under pressure. Professor Lexi, surveying the contestants with a twinkle in her eye, announced, "Our word warriors have proven their mastery of sentence structure and their agility with phrasal verbs. But the ultimate test, the challenge that separates the grammar novices from the linguistic legends, awaits them in the next round. Stay tuned." The Grammar Game Show, Part 3, Sentence Surgeons. The studio lights blazed back to life, revealing a set transformed into a whimsical operating room, complete with a giant anatomical model of a sentence, its subject, verb, and object labeled in bright colors. Professor Lexi, now sporting a surgeon's cap and mask, wielded a giant red pen as a scalpel, her eyes twinkling with a mischievous glint. "Welcome back, word warriors, to sentence surgery. In this round, you will be tasked with diagnosing and correcting common grammar ailments, wielding your knowledge of punctuation and syntax to restore these ailing sentences to their full health and grammatical glory." A giant screen behind Professor Lexi displayed a sentence riddled with errors. "Me and my friend went to the store, but they was out of milk. We was so sad." The 3 remaining contestants, now dubbed sentence surgeons for the round, cringed at the grammatical carnage displayed before them. Their task: to identify and correct each error, earning points for every successful diagnosis and repair. Ben, the visual learner, approached the challenge like an artist restoring a damaged masterpiece. He squinted at the sentence, his mind envisioning the correct structure, the proper placement of commas and apostrophes. "First, we need to replace me with my friend and I," he announced, using the giant red pen to make the correction on the screen. "Then, 2 should be toe." And they was. Should be they were. The studio audience, a mix of grammar enthusiasts and those who secretly feared the intricacies of the English language, gasped at Ben's swift diagnosis. Professor Lexi, nodding approvingly, added, "Excellent, Ben. You've successfully identified 3 grammatical ailments, but there are still more lurking within this sentence." Sarah, the grammar aficionado, eager to showcase her expertise, jumped in. Out of is a preposition, so it needs an object. It should be out of milk, not out of milk we. And we was should be we were, Emily added, her keen eye for detail catching the final error. The sentence, now fully restored to its grammatical glory, shone brightly on the screen. My friend and I went to the store, but they were out of milk. We were so sad. The audience erupted in applause, impressed by the contestants' ability to dissect and repair the mangled sentence. Professor Lexi, beaming with pride, awarded points to each contestant for their contributions. The round continued with a series of increasingly challenging sentences, each one a test of the contestants' grammatical knowledge and their ability to identify common errors like subject-verb agreement, misplaced modifiers, and misused pronouns. The studio audience, initially apprehensive about the surgery theme, found themselves laughing at the contestants' struggles, cheering their successes, and learning along the way. Professor Lexi's witty commentary and clear explanations transformed the potentially dry topic of grammar into an engaging and entertaining spectacle. As the round drew to a close, only 2 contestants remained, their scores neck and neck, their minds buzzing with grammatical rules and their hearts pounding with anticipation. The final challenge, a complex sentence with multiple layers of errors, appeared on the screen. The winner of this final surgery would advance to the ultimate showdown, a battle of linguistic wit and creative storytelling. The tension in the studio was palpable, the audience holding their breath, the contestants' fingers hovering over their buzzers, ready to dissect the final sentence and claim their place in the Wordplay Wonders Hall of Fame. The Grammar Game Show, Part 4. A tapestry of tales. The stage transformed once more, the clinical backdrop of the sentence surgery replaced with a whimsical storybook setting. Giant, colorful letters spelling out Storyteller's Showdown hung above the stage, and a whimsical soundtrack of harp music and twinkling chimes filled the air. Professor Lexi, now adorned in a velvet smoking jacket and a pair of round spectacles perched precariously on her nose, welcomed the 2 finalists, Sarah and Ben, to the ultimate challenge. Welcome, wordsmiths, to the final showdown. Here, you will wield the power of language not to dissect sentences, but to weave tales, to paint pictures with words, and to transport us to worlds of imagination and wonder. The challenge, she explained, was to create a short, humorous story, incorporating a specific set of idioms and metaphors provided on their individual touch screens. The story had to be grammatically correct, creatively engaging, and delivered with clarity and confidence. Sarah, the grammar enthusiast, relished the challenge. Her mind, a well-organized library of vocabulary and syntax, was ready to craft a compelling narrative. Ben, the visual artist, though initially intimidated by the storytelling task, felt a surge of inspiration, his imagination sparked by the prospect of painting pictures with words. The timer began its countdown, and the contestants, armed with their linguistic tools and their imaginations, embarked on their storytelling quests. Sarah's story centered around a clumsy dragon who bit off more than he could chew by attempting to join a ballet class. She skillfully incorporated idioms like stepping on toes, light on his feet, and breaking a leg, in its theatrical sense, of course, to create a humorous tale of mishaps and unexpected triumphs. Ben, drawing upon his artistic background, crafted a story about a mischievous paintbrush that painted the town red after escaping from its artist's studio. He used metaphors like colors danced across the canvas and the city became a symphony of hues to create a vibrant and imaginative narrative. The audience, captivated by the contestants' storytelling prowess, laughed, gasped, and even shed a tear or two as the tales unfolded. Professor Lexi, nodding approvingly, offered occasional comments, praising their creativity, their skillful use of language, and their ability to transport the audience to worlds of imagination. As the timer ticked down to its final seconds, both contestants concluded their stories, their voices ringing with confidence, their words painting vivid pictures in the minds of the audience. The studio erupted in applause, a testament to the power of language to entertain, to inspire, and to connect us through shared experiences. Professor Lexi, with a dramatic flourish, announced the winner Sarah, whose grammatically precise and hilariously crafted tale of the dancing dragon had captivated the judges and the audience alike. Sarah, beaming with pride, accepted the grand prize, a luxurious trip to London, the birthplace of the English language she had so skillfully mastered. But beyond the prize, she had gained something far more valuable, a deeper appreciation for the beauty, the power, and the endless possibilities of the English language. The Grammar Game Show, Part 5. A winning legacy. Confetti rained down on Sarah as she held the oversized check for the grand prize, a triumphant grin spreading across her face. But beyond the thrill of victory, a deeper sense of accomplishment resonated within her. The English Grammar Game Show had been more than just a competition. It had been a journey of linguistic discovery, a celebration of the power of words, and a reminder that learning could be both fun and rewarding. The studio audience, buzzing with excitement, lingered, reluctant to leave the linguistic playground that Professor Lexi had created. Many approached the contestants, congratulating them, sharing their own grammar struggles, and expressing gratitude for the show's unique blend of entertainment and education. "I've always been terrified of grammar," a woman confessed to Sarah, "but your stories made it seem so fun and accessible. I'm actually inspired to start reading more." Ben, the artist, found himself surrounded by a group of students eager to hear about his experience. "I never thought I'd be able to tell a story using idioms and metaphors," he said. "But Professor Lexi showed me that language can be just as creative as painting or drawing. The show's impact extended far beyond the studio walls. Wordplay Wonders became a cultural phenomenon, its viewership soaring with each episode. Schools incorporated the show's segments into their English lessons. Families gathered around their televisions to test their grammar knowledge, and online forums buzzed with discussions about the latest challenges and the contestants' creative solutions. Professor Lexi, the charismatic host and linguistic mastermind behind the show, became a household name, a champion for language learning, and a reminder that grammar didn't have to be dull or intimidating. She received letters from viewers worldwide, sharing stories of how the show had inspired them to improve their English, overcome their fear of grammar, and discover the joy of playing with words. One letter from a young boy who had struggled with dyslexia touched her deeply. He wrote, "Professor Lexi, your show made me realize that words are not my enemy. They can be fun, they can be powerful, and they can tell amazing stories. Thank you for helping me believe in myself." As the final episode of the season aired, Professor Lexi stood on the stage, surrounded by the contestants, the crew, and the cheering audience. A wave of emotion washed over her as she realized the profound impact the show had had on so many lives. "This is just the beginning," she announced, her voice filled with passion and gratitude. "The journey of language learning never ends. Let us continue to explore the wonders of words, to embrace the power of grammar, and to celebrate the magic that happens when we communicate with clarity, creativity, and joy." The studio erupted in applause, a symphony of appreciation for the show that had transformed grammar from a dreaded subject into a celebrated art form. Wordplay Wonders had not only entertained and educated, but had also fostered a love for language, reminding viewers that words had the power to connect, to inspire, and to unlock a world of endless possibilities. And as the cameras faded to black, the legacy of the show lived on, inspiring a generation of word warriors to embrace the beauty and the power of the English language. One grammar rule, one idiom, one captivating story at a time.